Welcome the rare gems. The most powerful women are not the ones who speak the loudest, but the ones whose silence makes others think. If you've ever noticed that certain men act differently around you, more cautious, more honest, or even slightly uneasy, there's a reason for it. You might be a Sigma female. You don't chase attention, but somehow it finds you. You don't try to stand out, yet your presence shifts the entire energy in a room. Men can sense that you see through them, not out of judgment, but out of a rare kind of awareness. Sigma females are not loud about who they are. They don't need labels or validation. But what gives them away is how men behave in their presence. Some men will open up in ways they never have before, while others will feel strangely challenged by their calm independence. Her quiet confidence acts like a mirror. It exposes what's real and what's not. If you've ever wondered why men either admire you deeply or walk away confused, this video will show you exactly why. You'll see how male behavior reveals the truth about your strength, depth, and emotional power. So watch till the end. Not for entertainment, but for understanding. Because being a Sigma female isn't about fitting into a category. It's about finally recognizing why you've always felt different, why you've always stood apart, and why your energy speaks louder than words ever could. Let's dive into it. The rare gems. Number 1. Men either compete or confess around her. There's something about the Sigma female that instantly changes how a man behaves, even if he doesn't realize it. She carries a kind of quiet energy that doesn't need words to be felt. It's not about looks or charm, it's something deeper. Men sense that she's not easily impressed, not easily shaken, and definitely not someone who can be controlled. That awareness alone makes their instincts split in two directions. Some men, the ones ruled by ego, start to feel an invisible challenge. They can't explain it, but something in her calm makes them want to prove themselves. They begin to talk louder, stand taller, or act smarter, all in a quiet race to measure up to her presence. It's not that she's competing with them. She isn't. But her composure exposes every insecurity they've been hiding under confidence. The harder they try to rise above her, the more obvious it becomes that she's not even in the competition. That realization stings, and that's exactly why she fascinates them. Then there are the other men, the ones who don't feel threatened, but instead feel understood. Around her, they drop the mask. They speak with honesty they rarely show anyone else. It's not because she encourages it, but because her stillness makes them feel safe enough to be real. There's something healing about her presence, something that gives men permission to breathe without pretending. The Sigma female doesn't demand attention. She naturally draws authenticity out of people. Men either try to rise to her level or rest in her peace, and that's what sets her apart. She doesn't manipulate these reactions. They happen because her energy operates on a frequency that forces truth to surface. Whether it's a man trying to outshine her or one who suddenly confides in her, both reveal the same thing. She's a mirror. Around her, a man can't fake who he is. Her energy tells the truth, even when no one else dares to say it. Number 2. He tests her emotionally, then feels foolish. When a man meets a Sigma female, he often mistakes her emotional calm for something he can play with. He might try to provoke her just to see if he can get a reaction, to test whether she'll compete for his attention or crumble under emotional pressure. It's a pattern many men use without even thinking about it. Pull back, withhold affection, make her wonder, then swoop back in when she reacts. But when he tries it with her, nothing happens. No reaction, no chase, no emotional chaos. Just calm. At first, he thinks she didn't notice. Then he realizes she noticed everything. She just didn't care to respond. Her silence isn't confusion. It's control. She understands the game, but she refuses to play it. That's when it hits him. He's dealing with someone he can't manipulate through emotion. The moves that usually give him power only expose his immaturity. The Sigma female has emotional intelligence that runs deep. She sees patterns, motives, and emotional traps long before they're set. When someone tries to stir insecurity in her, she doesn't take it personally. She sees it as a reflection of their own insecurity. That's why she stays composed. She values her peace more than the temporary thrill of proving a point. Over time, he starts to feel foolish for even trying. The same calm he once tried to shake begins to humble him. He realizes that real strength isn't about control, it's about stability. Her emotional detachment isn't coldness, it's wisdom. She's learned that no one who truly values you will try to make you feel small just to feel big. In the end, he stops testing her and starts respecting her, because there's nothing more intimidating than a woman who refuses to be emotionally manipulated, yet remains graceful enough to never expose your attempt. Number 3. He realizes she's never competing with anyone. There's something deeply magnetic about a woman who isn't trying to prove anything. That's the Sigma female. While most people are busy comparing, performing, or chasing validation, she's focused on something far more powerful: herself. She's not trying to be better than anyone. She's trying to be better than who she was yesterday. That kind of mindset changes everything about how men experience her. When men encounter her, they sense right away that she's not playing the usual games. She doesn't compete for attention, affection, or approval. Her energy is steady, not because she doesn't care, but because she knows her worth doesn't depend on anyone's reaction. That calm self-assurance makes men both intrigued and slightly unsettled. They're used to women trying to impress or outshine, but she moves differently. She's not in the race, they are. The more time a man spends around her, the more he realizes he can't win her over with status, charm, or flattery. None of those things touch her because she's already complete within herself. Her peace comes from self-mastery, not from external validation. That's what makes her presence feel both inspiring and unreachable. It's not arrogance, it's self-containment, the rare ability to exist without needing constant reassurance. Men who are used to being the center of attention often find themselves confused. They can feel that she respects them, but doesn't revolve around them. Her focus isn't on competing for their love, it's on protecting her balance. That quiet independence awakens admiration in strong men and discomfort in insecure ones. The Sigma female stands as proof that a woman's power doesn't come from winning against others. It comes from mastering herself. And once a man sees that, he realizes she's not a participant in anyone's race. She's the finish line, the standard that makes others question why they were running in the first place. Number 4. He feels both drawn and intimidated. There's a strange tension that follows a Sigma female wherever she goes. Men can't quite explain it, but they feel it. It's the pull of someone who carries both peace and power in the same breath. Her calm presence draws them in, yet her independence makes them hesitate. She's soft without being weak and strong without needing to prove it. That mix creates a kind of emotional confusion men are not used to handling. When a man meets her, he feels a quiet peace in her energy. She listens without judgment, speaks with intention, and doesn't rush to fill silences. There's something grounding about her stillness, as if being around her clears mental noise. But right when he starts to feel safe in that calm, he notices something else. She doesn't need him. Her independence doesn't come from pride. It comes from having built herself piece by piece. And that realization shakes him. He wants to get closer, but senses he can't enter her world unless invited. Her self-sufficiency becomes both magnetic and intimidating. Most men are used to being either the hero or the source of stability, but she doesn't need rescuing. She already has her own foundation. That challenges a man's instinct to protect and forces him to face a truth he rarely meets. A woman who can stand beside him, not behind him. Her mystery isn't an act. It's the quiet confidence of someone who doesn't explain herself to be understood. That's what keeps men guessing. They're unsure whether to open up or hold back, to lean in or retreat. The Sigma female holds that balance effortlessly. She doesn't play games, she just embodies depth. To some men, she's peace. To others, she's danger. But to the ones who truly see her, she's both, and that's exactly what makes her unforgettable. Number 5. He feels seen in a way that's uncomfortable. There's a certain look the Sigma female gives that can stop a man mid-sentence. It's not seductive, it's not judgmental, it's deeply aware. She doesn't just see what a man shows, she sees what he hides. It's the way her eyes hold still when someone speaks, as if she's listening to the truth behind the words, not just the sound of them. That's what makes men feel both drawn to her and uneasy around her. Most people are used to being half seen. They wear masks and get away with it because no one really pays attention. But she notices everything. The subtle shifts in tone, the forced laughter, the hesitation before a lie. Her perception cuts past charm and surface-level confidence. She doesn't flirt with attention, she studies essence. And that level of awareness is both magnetic and disarming. Men feel strangely exposed in her presence, like she can read what they're not ready to admit. Some try to cover it up with humor or confidence, but she's not fooled. The more they talk, the more she understands who they really are beneath the image. That can make a man uncomfortable, because most aren't used to being seen that clearly without being judged. Yet, this is exactly why they keep coming back. There's something addictive about being seen without pretense. Around her, a man doesn't have to perform. He senses that she already knows what he's trying to hide, and somehow that feels freeing. Her awareness creates a strange kind of intimacy, not built on words or touch, but on truth. The Sigma female's gaze isn't intrusive, it's revealing. She doesn't expose people to embarrass them, she simply sees what's real. And once a man experiences that, every superficial connection afterward feels empty. Because once you've been seen by her, pretending stops feeling good. Number 6. He stops using his mask around her. There's a rare kind of honesty that only a few people can draw out of others, and the Sigma female does it without even trying. When a man is around her, something inside him begins to shift. At first, he might present the usual version of himself, the confident act, the charming words, the practiced stories that normally work on others. But with her, it all starts to feel empty. Pretending becomes exhausting because she sees right through it. It's not that she calls him out directly. She doesn't need to. Her silence does it for her. When she listens, she's not reacting to his image. She's studying the truth underneath it. Her eyes don't feed his ego. They search for authenticity. He quickly realizes that the usual tricks, flattery, status, or performance, carry no weight in her presence. They bounce off her calm like pebbles against glass. The Sigma female's presence invites truth in the same way sunlight exposes dust. A man can either come clean with who he really is, or continue to hide behind a mask that's already cracking. And deep down, he knows she'll respect the truth, even if it's imperfect, far more than a polished lie. What makes her different is that she doesn't demand vulnerability. She inspires it. Her quiet acceptance tells him it's safe to drop the act. He begins to talk differently, move differently, even think differently. He no longer feels the need to impress her. He just wants to be real around her. In a world where everyone is performing, she becomes the reminder that truth still has power. Men discover that with her, honesty isn't a risk. It's the only language she understands. Once a man realizes that, the mask comes off for good, because there's no going back to pretending after being seen for who you truly are. Number 7. He notices his ego cracks in small ways. Something unusual happens when a man meets a Sigma female. His ego starts to lose its balance without him even realizing it. He may walk in with confidence, used to being admired or having his charm do the talking, but her energy doesn't respond to any of that. She doesn't feed his image, and that alone shakes the foundation he's built his sense of worth on. Her calm presence acts like a mirror that reflects what's real and what's just performance. The jokes that normally earn laughter don't land the same way. The subtle bragging feels out of place. Even the little gestures meant to impress her start to feel unnecessary. It's not because she's cold or dismissive. It's because her attention comes from a place beyond ego. She doesn't reward noise, she responds to substance. Men quickly realize that the usual currencies of attraction, status, looks, influence, don't buy space in her world. She measures people by something deeper: consistency, honesty, and self-awareness. And when a man tries to rely on surface-level charm, her silence exposes it for what it is: fragile. That's when the small cracks begin to show. He starts to question why he's trying so hard. He wonders why her opinion matters more than anyone else's. It's because, deep down, he senses that she can see who he truly is beyond the image he projects. That awareness humbles him. Around her, his ego doesn't get fed, it gets educated. The Sigma female doesn't crush a man's confidence. She refines it. She makes him see that authenticity carries more power than any illusion. And when he finally understands that, something shifts inside him. The mask drops, the noise fades, and what remains is the version of himself he rarely shows the world, the one she saw from the very beginning. Number 8. He notices his manipulative tactics stop working. When a man who's used to getting his way meets a Sigma female, the entire game changes. The little tactics that usually keep people hooked, emotional withdrawal, mixed signals, guilt trips, or strategic silence, simply fail to land. She doesn't react the way others do. Her calm throws off the rhythm of manipulation because she doesn't chase, argue, or beg for clarity. She just watches. And that quiet observation is what begins to expose everything. A manipulator's power lies in controlling emotional reactions. But with her, there's no reaction to feed on. Her detachment disarms the game. When he pulls away to make her anxious, she doesn't chase. She uses the silence to think. When he tries to guilt-trip her, she looks at him with stillness that makes him question himself. When he uses charm to soften her boundaries, she smiles politely, but doesn't shift her position. That emotional steadiness resets the entire dynamic. He quickly realizes that she can't be controlled by attention, affection, or fear of losing him. She doesn't view relationships as battles to win or spaces to dominate. To her, connection has to be genuine, or it's not worth keeping. This unnerves men who depend on manipulation for validation, because her refusal to play exposes how hollow their tactics really are. The Sigma female's strength is not in confrontation, but in awareness. She doesn't need to call out the manipulation. Her lack of response makes it visible on its own. The more he tries to twist emotions, the clearer his intentions become, until even he can't deny them. Eventually, most men stop playing games around her, not because she demanded honesty, but because dishonesty simply doesn't survive in her energy. She teaches them that emotional control isn't power, it's a form of fear, and once they see that, they either grow up or quietly fade away, realizing that with her, manipulation has no home. Number 9. He starts seeing himself through her eyes. There's something quietly transformative about being around a Sigma female. She doesn't try to change anyone, yet people, especially men, find themselves changing without realizing it. It's the way she carries herself, the way she listens, the way she looks at people like she's seeing beyond the surface. Her energy has a strange mirror effect. It doesn't judge, but it reflects. And when a man spends enough time around her, he starts to see himself through her eyes. At first, he may not understand why her presence feels so different. She's not loud, she's not overly emotional, and she doesn't compete for attention. But when she speaks, there's depth in her words. When she's silent, there's meaning in her stillness. That calm, unbothered energy begins to stir something inside him. He starts to wonder if he's really living with purpose or just going through the motions. The Sigma female has a gift for awakening self-awareness in people who rarely pause to think. She makes men question their motives, their choices, and the kind of energy they bring into the world. Not because she lectures them, but because her integrity exposes what's missing in theirs. Her life is proof that peace and power can exist together, and that truth quietly challenges everything superficial. Some men find this awakening uncomfortable. They start noticing the masks they wear, the lies they tell themselves, the small ways they've been avoiding growth. Others find it inspiring. They realize they want to match her level, not in competition, but in clarity. What makes her unforgettable is that she never forces transformation. She simply lives in alignment with her truth, and that alone holds up a mirror to everyone around her. Men leave her presence more self-aware, more honest, and sometimes even a little haunted, because once they've seen themselves through her eyes, pretending no longer feels right. Number 10. He catches himself adjusting his energy. There's a certain kind of woman who doesn't need to correct people with words. Her presence alone does the job. That's the Sigma female. Something about her energy has a natural way of recalibrating the space around her. Men feel it the moment they speak to her. Their tone softens, their words become more measured, and their behavior shifts almost unconsciously. It's not fear, it's awareness. They sense that she is fully present, and that presence demands a certain level of self-control. The Sigma female carries a rare kind of quiet authority. It isn't loud or obvious, but it lingers in the air like truth itself. Men instinctively realize they can't get away with shallow talk or exaggerated confidence. Around her, they start to weigh their words carefully, not because she asks them to, but because her energy doesn't entertain nonsense. She has a way of holding silence that speaks louder than judgment. Even the most confident men notice something unusual happening when she's near. They straighten their posture, think before speaking, and become more intentional in how they express themselves. It's as if her aura acts as a mirror, reflecting back the energy they bring. If they're genuine, she makes them feel grounded. If they're pretentious, she exposes it without saying a thing. This quiet influence is what separates her from the crowd. She doesn't correct behavior, she elevates it. Her energy silently teaches emotional discipline, the kind that can't be forced or faked. Men leave her presence more aware of themselves, not because she changed them, but because she made them notice their own reflection. The Sigma female doesn't demand respect. She evokes it. Without raising her voice or seeking control, she redefines the tone of every interaction. That's the power of true composure, the kind that transforms others simply by existing. In final words, energy never lies. It simply reveals what words try to hide. If you found yourself relating to these behaviors, it's not by accident. You're likely not the type who follows the crowd or craves attention. You move differently, think deeper, and connect with the world on your own terms. That quiet strength you carry isn't coldness, it's clarity. You read people without trying, sense motives before they're spoken, and carry a calm that unsettles anyone who lives off control. Being a Sigma female isn't about being perfect or superior. It's about being self-aware in a world that constantly pushes people to fit into something smaller. You're the kind of woman who doesn't need to announce her worth because it's already written in how you walk, how you think, and how you handle life when no one's watching. Yes, it can be lonely at times. People may misread your silence, underestimate your softness, or confuse your independence for distance. But that's the price of being real in a world built on performance. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to remind others what authenticity feels like. So take this as your reminder. You don't need to change your rhythm to make others comfortable. The right people will recognize your energy without you having to explain it. You're not intimidating. You're just the mirror that makes others confront what they've avoided in themselves. Stay grounded in your truth. Protect your peace. Keep leading with quiet confidence. And most importantly, keep watching till the end, because what's coming next will help you understand the rare power you carry and how to use it without ever losing yourself. Thank you for watching The Rare Gems, and God bless you.